بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We begin with Allah's name and we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the universe, and we send our salutations and greetings and peace to our beloved Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Welcome to everyone today. Thank you for joining. Jazakumullah khairan for taking your time out to join today. We'd like to welcome you all, and we have a few new information to give to you, inshallah ta'ala. And we'd like to be as concise as possible, inshallah ta'ala. So I'll begin straight away. And we have our brother Muhtadi here, and also our brother Ghazi from Mecca. And in regards to how we move forward, there's some information that we will be disseminating and mentioning today in the next webinars, how it will run. And also, we value your staying with us, and of course, the experience and the know-how and the knowledge of Hajj, walillahi alhamd, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have all been blessed with, and many guides who will be guiding on the Nusuk Hajj platform, inshallah ta'ala, to help serve the pilgrims and to deliver a fantastic Hajj, collaborating and guiding with the service providers. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from all of us, inshallah, and we will begin, inshallah. So just on this note, I'd like Brother Ghazi and Muhtadi to jump in because I've been given the task to speak. But where needed, please do jump in. Jazakumullah khairan. So, Bismillah. So what you can do, brothers and sisters, is you can keep your phones or your devices ready to sort of, if you need to screenshot something, so you can keep a personal sort of plan of how to move forward, inshallah, in terms of your to be prepared for the booking phase, inshallah ta'ala. So all right. The things that we're going to, the agenda today, as we mentioned on our message to you, is that first and foremost, we want to clarify, and this is because it is very important that we should give clarity on our role. And many of you are already aware. There are within the Hajj community, within many people are talking about this. What's the role that we're playing now? How has it been before? And it is important that from our side we clarify this as well, and this is in line with the system or the directives of the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, and also Nusuk Hajj platform. So that we'll cover for a few minutes, and then we'll talk about the Hajj service providers that, inshallah ta'ala, our guides will be sort of guiding with and serving, inshallah ta'ala. We'll also be talking about how to achieve a successful booking, step-by-step plan. So you have that ready for you, and you know you're on top of the game, and you are sure of what steps needs to be taken for you to be prepared, inshallah ta'ala. And I will give a short reminder, inshallah ta'ala, about the Hajj, and then we must ensure that we know what are the channels and what proper ways should we keep updated regarding the Hajj booking and the all the information, inshallah ta'ala, and then we'll have Q&A. So first and foremost, with that introduction about us and the clarifying how the process is, this year will be different, and those who understand the process stay calm, inshallah, and those who, you know, we find that if the process is understood and if we are prepared, then there's a sort of and we've mentioned this before, it's important to be very calm and not panic. Those who perhaps panic sometimes, or they're not calm in that sense, what happens is they have missed opportunities. So the aim of this session is to help prepare you in your mind, right? Before those packages appear. Now, everybody, the big question is about the e-wallet, about verification, of course, first. Some of you aren't verified yet. And then the e-wallet activation and topping up. And of course, package details. That's the big question. Everyone's waiting for this, right? And that, my dear brothers and sisters, as as the time passes and as we see what's going on, you'll realize that there is, for sure, it seems to be very likely that there will be some form of delay to the dates that were given originally. And in our first webinar, we mentioned that there will be changes and sudden changes, and this has been the case for the last 4 years. So we deal with the situation as and when it in a live dynamic situation. So once again, there is a new evolving system, okay, and there will be high demand and limited visibility and availability, right? And so, as mentioned, changes will happen and may happen, and it has happened already on a very short notice. And so, therefore, we have to be prepared for those changes. So some people were calling or messaging saying, oh, what dates do we need to, what date exactly is the activation? What dates are, so in this process, we have to be calm and we have to be ready. We are preparing our funds because ultimately without the funds and the money, you cannot book, okay? We have to verify ourselves and have some idea of what package Hajj packages is like. And this is where the service providers will be discussing that, inshallah ta'ala. So it is really essential that you understand the mechanism to avoid mistakes, inshallah ta'ala. That's the sort of intro to today. Now, in regards to our role, this has to be mentioned once again, to clarify for all those who attended and for those who perhaps haven't attended. From our perspective and from our side, our role, what is it? It's the guidance must be through official channels. All guidance should be through official channels. And we have to be very clear. And let me be very clear about our role. Our senior leadership and team and our guides will be active, inshallah ta'ala, for the Hajj 2026. And alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we have been serving for many, many years, as mentioned before, supporting pilgrims as guides, not as commercial partners, and rather the ministry of through the ministry's guidance, we are aligning with that all the time. And whatever new things, new rules, new directives come, we always ensure that we follow that and we don't speak beyond or beyond that, inshallah ta'ala. So therefore, it should be clear that any foreign commercial partnerships and things like that are not permitted. And our role is guidance, preparation, and support. And that support will happen this year inside official service provider channels. So we will, if you want to benefit from our guidance, you must join these channels, and this is essential. So as you all know, we have been a family-run organization with over 30 years of experience. So if you're looking for experience, if you're looking for the right people, and this is something I must mention because, again, and reiterate, last year and the year before, we found many people didn't have any guides, didn't have people with them, unfortunately, meaning they didn't have enough support, perhaps because many guides were unable to travel. Many guides, or perhaps for whatever reason, they couldn't travel. And if the guide cannot travel, if the guide cannot prepare enough or have sufficient experience or backup teams or backup solutions, then at that point, when the going gets tough and when you're out there and you're in need, sometimes you're left to do things your own. And of course, the service providers, those guides within the service providers, there are different levels and different experience levels within those guides. And that's something we would like to re-emphasize. So inshallah, we'll be supporting for Hajj 2026, and we hope you do your due diligence and check for that for a wholesome experience, inshallah ta'ala. And we don't like to speak about ourselves as guides. It is not befitting, and rather it is important that we all, do our own research, and that's important. So to clarify, we act as strictly as guides and support teams, and not as any form of commercial intermediaries. And you've seen some messages from the ministry directly to say not to deal with intermediaries. This is to protect the pilgrim. And also, unfortunately, some people perhaps were charging for their services outside of Nusuk, and these kind of things have caused problems. So, inshallah, to make it more easier, we will guide pilgrims within official service provider communication channels, inshallah, this year, in line with the ministry guidelines. So, what action is required post this webinar? One action that you might want to note down, or you will see post webinar, we'll be posting about that, that you should join the official service provider Telegram channels to receive guidance and updates. So whilst you are already in our groups, you can additionally add to the service providers that will be guiding. Inshallah, you'll see some of the us as admin or as guides within those service provider channels, inshallah ta'ala, providing initially support for booking, and thereafter support post-booking, preparing you for Hajj, inshallah ta'ala, with the fiqh, with the how-tos, the pre-travel guidance, pre-travel requirements. All of those things will be covered. But the first step is right now to join those service provider telegrams. And one thing I would like to mention is that perhaps some of you have seen some service providers have their own channel already, and some do not. And this year, because it is now in as a part of the rules and guidelines of Ministry of Hajj, some service provider telegrams or WhatsApp will be very small in number of pilgrims. Remember, all of these 12 companies, the service providers, all have a quota and have Hajj packages. So sometimes being in a smaller group is a positive thing, because you'll have more chance for your booking, inshallah ta'ala, and space, inshallah ta'ala. So how will the support and communication work? All Hajj services are delivered through, as we mentioned, the approved Hajj service providers on Nusuk. There are 12 of them. So our leadership team and guides will be working across multiple service providers. For Hajj 2026, these are confirmed so far as being Sira Mawasim and Holiday in Becca, which is the intercontinental group. So each service provider operates its own official Telegram communication channel. Okay, and just to bear in mind, obviously, our Hassan Travel group will continue for overview, for support and guidance, but it doesn't replace those official channels. Okay, so inshallah, we'll be sharing those on our group so that you can join. Okay. One thing that's important, remember that official instructions and booking updates will be through those service provider channels, and you should join all of them. Okay, even if you follow our main group, ensure you're not confused in this process. What do I mean by this? When you start joining many groups, brothers and sisters, what happens is there's information coming. It's what I call the information overload problem. So you get overwhelmed Okay. So what I would suggest is, brothers and sisters, keep to the guides that you'd like to go with. Keep one or two open, okay? And focus now on your verification. We'll give you your step-by-step plan shortly. And do not worry at all. Brothers and sisters, one thing to mention is you have time. I know it seems like some of you are really getting impatient and saying, well, 1 month I've been waiting and I haven't been verified. But trust you me, the 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 speed at which things happen suddenly, subhanallah, everything will move very quickly. But unofficially, like now, from information that we know, that based on the previous years, there have been, and I've been mentioning this on the telephone and on messages, that there has been some form of delays from the top down, in terms of directives and things. So therefore, it should have a knock-on effect on the things, the next stages, and the preliminary dates that have been given. So again, those dates um, are not final. We said were provisional. That we said, for example, January 4th will be the package viewing date, and February the 4th or 5th, around those dates for the package booking. We're hoping it will stay the same, okay? But again, those dates may be deferred because of the delay. For example, people need to top up, people need to still get registered, and also other issues within the KSA. They have some things that they are going through. So on that note, I will move to the next section, which is very important for everyone, and I think you should keep a note of this. So I think, just to clarify once again, our role is to be guides, okay? And there will be an official uh, Telegram group for each of the companies that we will be working with. So far, we've confirmed with Sira Mawasim, in terms of service, mashallah, tabarakallah, for those who went with us last year, were absolutely fantastic, very organized, and they came first in terms of delivery in 2024, and 2025 is still not out yet in terms of the results, but still, from what I saw, it was like clockwork, mashallah, tabarakallah, very professional, and it's an honor to be with them actually. And their packages were very well priced. So please do have a look at that. We also have Holiday in Bakka, who have a wonderful team that we worked with. And we weren't with them previously, us ourselves, but we know they're international company and we've done our due diligence. So this is something that our guides have been chosen to work with, and inshallah, we will be working with them. If there is any updates on any more service providers that any of our team will be working with and that we can manage, and we can feel that, yes, that as guides we can handle that and we can give you the full experience, provide that support together with the service providers, absolutely we'll be informing you, inshallah, through our Telegram groups, and perhaps if there are any more information-based webinars, inshallah ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, your personal Hajj booking plan, step by step, very simply. Number one, we need to ensure that we have correct Nusuk registration and verification. I'll talk about that shortly. We need to understand package types before viewing, very important. And we need to have realistic dates and options. We'll talk about that shortly as well, because we've been speaking to people, and there's been some requests, and we need to be realistic. Okay, we need to be honest, okay, and transparent about what's going on and how things will transpire. We need to be ready during booking windows, and most importantly, avoid panic or emotional decisions. Have patience, flexibility, right, and your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what is step one? There are 7 steps that we've kind of devised for a successful Hajj booking, inshallah ta'ala. Number one, complete your Nusuk registration if you haven't already. Many of you have messaged me that, and the team, the guides, that you have been registered. Some of you were struggling, but alhamdulillah, they're now verified. but there are others who still haven't been verified. Okay, myself, I haven't been verified. So, I mean, if you're worrying, look, give it another few weeks, and if not, then do contact us. I would say 2 weeks time, then really, speak to some of the guides, and we'll raise it with the ministry through the service provider, inshallah. So one thing that is important, right? If you're not registered or verified on Nusuk, of course, this is your first priority. There's nothing else that you can do. But ensure your personal details. Muhtadi mentioned this, that your personal details match your passport exactly. Edit the fields. Open the section and see if it's exactly matching your passport. Okay. In previous years, we had people who wanted to change and could not change at the end, and tickets were issued with different names because people didn't check. So it's very important to check. How does it work in terms of data entry? It's through OCR, which is a scan. Okay, so you scan your passport. When you send the photo, it scans and takes that information. So you need to ensure that once it's scanned, sometimes computers make errors. So you need to check and then edit and those fields. Now we're having frequent issues. The main ones are two things mainly. Passport photo size or quality issue or rejection. Now, brothers and sisters, if you're finding it difficult, you're going to websites that are perhaps not able to resize it correctly. I personally, as in what we can assume, because those photos were previously the same photos that we were uploading. Okay, some of you who are already verified last year and then this year it didn't work. It could be a computer error because we don't know for sure. Is someone physically checking it, or is it some kind of automated system through a computer? So therefore, it may be, people have informed us that they have called Nusuk and they said the photos are absolutely fine. So therefore, what I would say, brothers and sisters, is in that case, raise it with Nusuk again and keep doing it. And then eventually, inshallah, you will be verified. Now, if you'd like one of the guides to do that for you, contact the guides, okay, in terms of amending the photo, not uploading it, but amending the photo, just to clarify. Number two, and some of you have, and they've been successful. So please do so if you'd like help on that. Number two, proof of residency. So the ILR, share code that you can get from the Gov website, you need to insert that into the field and also provide a screenshot of the government website with the actual the share code, and that should suffice. We found many people, and they've personally informed me, and you should be fine in terms of verification. There are some people with part verification of families, okay? And basically what happens is the husband is verified, but the wife isn't, or the other way around. Just wait up and inshallah, both of them will be verified. It's normal. It doesn't always happen the same time. We mentioned this before. If you think it's been too long, then some of you have tried only for 1 or 2 weeks, some of people for a month. Anyone who's over a month been waiting for verification, perhaps contact any of the guides, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll try and support you, no problem at all. Step one, that's to complete verification. I think that's quite clear. Step two, have your Hajj dates clear and book time off early. So decide your acceptable, what we call the Hajj travel window. Okay, so based on your holidays and the Hajj travel window, so you need to fit that in, okay, based on the Hajj dates. Okay, speak to your employer and secure time off provisionally, and be realistic. Okay, peak dates, brothers and sisters, those who are looking for very short packages for 10 days. Remember, the flights are at super peak at that time, very expensive, but it will be available. But then you can find even perhaps something without five-star hotel, probably a standard package away from the haram just for 10 days to do the Hajj. You might be able to get it. But then there's so many elements to it. The flight has to be there as well. So there will be the GDS, which is the system where you can directly you can search and then put it into your basket. The only caveat or the uh, perhaps the only worry could be that if, and this happened before, when so many people put it in their cart with the GDS live dynamic searching, flights, you'll find a very good price at the time of search. You'll have a good few weeks to search and to look at packages and then put it into your basket. But one thing to bear in mind, brothers and sisters, is as soon as you it gets booked up, like you right now in the winter holidays, anywhere in the world, if you're traveling, flights are very expensive. Why? Because it's a high demand. So now if you search online, it's going to be very expensive, right? If you want to book in the next few days when people are having their winter holidays. In the same way, for the Hajj, some people will be lucky and book it for a cheaper price, and some people will pay the premium and in fact pay a lot more. So that's one thing to bear in mind, and perhaps in our future webinars with the service providers that will be mentioned, and from ourselves, inshallah ta'ala. So the group flights that are attached to the packages sometimes is quicker because it's in the basket and you just go straight to booking, inshallah. So again, you have to weigh in and decide on that. One thing for the dates, in terms of dates, I mean, these are going to be the majority packages within 19th, 20th May to 5th or 6th June. And packages won't be more than 21 days on Nusuk. Usually it's 21 or less, starting from 10 days or 11, 12 days to 21 days. So please bear that in mind. Okay. And speak to any of the guides if you want more clarity on that. Once you have your work time off, you can focus with a clear mind, inshallah ta'ala. You're not stressing. You try to get a bigger time. Some of you who have children that you're leaving behind, childcare is an issue. We totally understand that. But the system, the way it is with the demand and the flights, and so many people want to go, then you need to, sort of think that it's once in a lifetime. If I'm going to go, I need to sacrifice that time, make that time. Even if you have to take that time off unpaid leave, you need to think about those things, because ultimately to get the space is and that's something that nobody can guarantee at all. Okay. Step number 3. So after you've registered and then you've taken your time off, prepare your finances in advance. Okay, your funds, very important. Okay. Plan your budget realistically. Don't stretch yourself to an amount that you cannot, perhaps go for. And when you have that maximum of your budget, say there's 2 of you, 3 of you, then you work your way down, because you want to have 1 or 2 or 3 packages. We'll talk about that shortly, where you have preferred. But any of those packages your budget shouldn't be higher than any of those packages. It should be lower. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Ensure your funds are ready in a Monzo global internationally enabled account, so you don't get hit with fees, high cross-border fees. Don't rely on last-minute transfers or approvals, because what happens sometimes, if you move a large amount between your bank account, the bank account freezes or says there's a question on it, and some banks are really slow with customer service. To even approve it will take time. Because if you're not moving that kind of amount of money regularly, then the question will pop up. Why? And we had before when people had to say that I'm booking for Hajj, and it can be a bit of a nuisance and it cause delays. So, so sometimes the booking, you're stressing about the booking, and then you've got this, you're not financially, your finance is not prepared properly. So then it actually adds to the stress. So you don't want to be stressed regarding finances. Also have all that ready, inshallah. Step 4, wait for e-wallet activation. Okay. Some people are asking about e-wallet activation. I want to put the money in the account now. Do not rush to top up. Brothers and sisters, do not rush to top up unless it is right at the end, and there is, for some reason, there's some delays on the system and it's nearer to the time of booking. That's something else. But you will have ample time to view the packages and to top up your e-wallet. So do not top up immediately. Ensure first and foremost, if you have other members of your group, that they are correctly linked to your account first, brothers and sisters. Okay. If you top up before linking them, then it can cause a complication and delays. Okay. This is a critical step. So this having that patience, prevents serious issues later, inshallah. So now moving to step 5, it is paramount, and I'm speaking from observation from the last 4 years, shifting and non-shifting, right? This packages that are tanakuli, which means to move from two places. I know there are videos online, there's information online. Not all of it is accurate or helpful. You need to really study it properly. The ultimate reason why shifting was even created a long time ago. This is pre-Nusuk. It was to bring the cost of packages down, to bring the cost of five-star packages down. It was to compromise during the Hajj days because you're ultimately in the Mina camps, to stay in normal accommodation, not five-star hotels, but in normal standard accommodation, 3-star to 4-star hotels, and then to avail a five-star or very good standard hotel nearer to the Haram post Hajj or pre Hajj in the mid peak season, as opposed to super peak period where it's really expensive. So this is why people still want comfort. So they say, okay, in the Hajj days, 1 week, I'll stay far from the Haram. I will be nearer to Jamarat, nearer to the tents. So that will be suitable. But others will say, well, actually, you know what? I can afford that amount and I don't want to shift. I want to stay in one hotel. I want to go straight to the hotel. It depends on your affordability. It depends on your comfort levels. Please, some people will tell you, okay, this is good for you, but actually uh, your level of sort of tolerance towards standards might be different to others. Your standards might be different to others. You might manage with a standard hotel as long as it's got air conditioning and it's clean, but others will be perhaps wanting very, very high standards. So that's something that perhaps later on, when the packages are allowed to be discussed, then that will be discussed, inshallah ta'ala, in detail with the guides, inshallah. So that's something to bear in mind. But keep asking that question: what is shifting and what is non-shifting? What is better for me? If you need to speak to any of the guides for that personalized guidance based on your situation, absolutely do so. Step 6: be flexible, brothers and sisters. I cannot emphasize this any further. Some people are asking very daqiq, very precise requests. In Hajj on Nusuk platform, you have to be flexible. There are too many people that are trying to get a booking. There may not be an option to choose. So what I'm saying is, have a primary package preference, but also have clear alternative options. When that time comes, when the packages will be shared by the service providers, then look at those packages and then think how I'm gonna put this is number 1, this is number 2, number 3. So when I say step 6 here, be flexible, it means package preference, at least have 3 to 4 noted down, that this package from this service provider. If not, I'll go with this one. If not, I'll go with this one. And also bear in mind the quota system within the countries and the quotas within the service providers. And we're trying to ensure from our perspective as guides to be guiding and giving enough, having the threshold of the quota and have enough coverage so that inshallah we will be guiding you and you will join our mashayikh and you will benefit from all of our guidance, inshallah ta'ala. So decide this before the booking window opens. Of course, not during checkout. So you'll have, when that time comes up, and this is probably into the new year onwards, where you can view those packages, then sit down. And sometimes when there's too many options, it can confuse you, and then you start changing. One thing to bear in mind is that make a decision on 3 or 4, and that's it. if you start looking and changing all the time, it can cause confusion. And this is why some people end up booking something that they don't even know what the package was. They didn't study, because every single detail of the package will be there on the page with what's included, what's not included. At that moment, when you suddenly panic, sort of book something, do discuss those packages with someone from the guides, and that will give you a better experience for sure, inshallah ta'ala. So it should be planned, the flexibility, and not improvised under pressure, inshallah. So that's and finally, uh, take your time and do not be rushed. There's this urgency created sudden panic that people want to create, but inshallah, you'll have enough time to study those packages when they appear. You're welcome to speak to our guides and ask questions in the official service provider Telegram groups, inshallah. And remember, good decisions come from understanding, not panic. Very important. So this is a Hajj booking preparation list. Perhaps you can screenshot so you can, you know what, if I've got these things right, I'll be prepared. So take a screenshot of this, Nusuk registration, just in a nutshell, completed and verified. If you haven't done that, please do not stress, but rather in a calm manner, try again, and expect that there will be problems. It's a technical, it's a new solution, and it's still going through its, teething stages, and inshallah, it's getting better every year. But there will be some issues, without a doubt. Some people are having, even myself, but we will get through, inshallah. Um, if you're struggling, do reach out to the guides. Passport details checked and correct. Okay, done. Hajj travel dates agreed and time off secured. Inshallah, done. Budget. Your budget is planned and funds are ready in Monzo or global account, whichever account that you decide to use. And then your group members, if you have group members, linked correctly before the e-wallet top up. Clear understanding of the shifting and non-shifting luxury, premium, and standard packages. By the way, luxury, premium, and standard they cross each other. So you can have a 5-star package, but still be called premium. Okay. It depends what 5-star means to you. So this is something to bear in mind. Standard packages, some of them are very good hotels. So don't always assume just because of the name. So study and ask the service providers for more information and the guides on those service provider groups, inshallah, which is ourselves, inshallah, who will be guiding. So you can reach out to us. Primary and alternative package options should be decided. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my number 1 target. If I can't, then 2, then 3. Sometimes the double rooms, okay, will be not available. So what do I do then? I want to be a husband and wife in one room. So I need to have a backup room, because this double rooms get booked up very quickly, the twin rooms. But for sure, last year, for example, we had some quad rooms that people booked, and then later on it was upgraded to double and triple as an upgrade afterwards, with an extra payment to the service provider. Okay, and that option will be there, inshallah. Make sure you've joined all the official service provider Telegram groups. Okay, but at the same time, Hassan Travel Group will remain for summaries and guidance, and all the, as soon as something happens, it's happening to, all the information will go to you as well. So do keep with us as well. Staying updated through verified channels only. That's important. This is the directive from the Ministry of Hajj, and we are very clear and very blunt in that. And we hope that we are delivering the right message, inshallah ta'ala. And we hope to be, inshallah, guiding you all, bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala. Trust in Allah, okay? Take the means properly, and then you can move forward, inshallah ta'ala. Please continue to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please continue to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the main focus today is to clarify our role. Number 2, to mention that we will be guiding on 2, up to now so far, Sira Mawasim and Holiday Inn Bakka. One thing to bear in mind about Holiday Inn is that in terms of some licensing issue or something like this, you'll see that it's a one N and not a two N's. But don't worry about that. It's still the official holiday in the international intercontinental IHG group. And inshallah ta'ala, um, uh, both of them we are privileged to be guides on. So our guides will be on those groups and will be supporting our pilgrims throughout. So do join them. We'll share that on the Telegram group along with our main one, where we'll be providing Islamic fiqh preparational um, guidance and providing any important dates and information and anything that we feel when there's necessary. We'll be having our webinars as well, inshallah ta'ala. Reminder to check updates regularly through the Nusuk X platform. So sometimes what happens, the Nusuk, so it's called Hajj on Nusuk, right? Actually, it's not Nusuk, it's Hajj on Nusuk or Nusuk Hajj platform. Because even the service providers and us and everyone sometimes are in the dark, and we only find out from the information officially through Nusuk. And I know this sounds really strange, but this is how things work in Saudi Arabia and other countries, where X is used as the official platform to sort of send a directive or a new piece of information. I know we're not used to that here in the UK. This is strange, but it's new to us, but it's actually quite normal over there. So don't feel that you shouldn't follow that. You should follow that. So we may schedule in webinars when needed. Stay up to speed in our Telegram and WhatsApp channels. And inshallah ta'ala, I don't mind providing our direct line numbers for some of our guides, including myself and Muqtadi. There are other guides who I want to introduce you to perhaps in future webinars, but that will be provided, inshallah ta'ala, in the coming, through our channels, inshallah ta'ala. And we now would like to pass it on to Brother Muqtadi. I know he's been answering questions, but please do perhaps ask any questions if you have, and I'll leave the panel open for the team, inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh, for the presentation and the information. Um, so today was all about, connecting with everyone as well, with everyone again, and to, continue our webinars. So we've had a few already. So as you know, we were having them fortnightly. And it was important for us to, before the New Year's break, to mention that, the new mechanism and the new style for 2026 Hajj, and how we will slowly merge towards or move towards our service provider webinars in the future. So our current Telegram group is the main form of communication for us to send information out to you. And on there, in the next couple of days, you will be given the links to join each particular service provider groups. So we strongly advise that you join them. And then in each group, you will have the updates when the service providers have prepared them in terms of the packages or the provisional packages or the dates or the timelines that they expect things to come online. And of course, in the new year, we anticipate or we expect Nusuk to have the the viewing of the packages. And once we can view the packages, it'll be a lot easier to understand what is Nusuk and how to book, and how do you add the flights, how do you add the transport, how do you select your program, which service provider do you search, because you'll be able to physically walk through it. And we can have some sessions on that as well to show you, for example, luxury, standard, premium, and different combinations. So don't panic too much. I think a lot of people, alhamdulillah, in the last 10 days or so have been getting verified. Anybody who's struggling with the application can contact us for support. I know the team was resizing and helping with a lot of the photos, and they helped instantly for people to get verified. But if you have any other questions, then please do reach out to us. Of course, the team may be busy at certain times, but they will always respond to you within reasonable time frame. Brother Ghazi, you want to come in and say anything, inshallah, from your end, from Mecca?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Uh, I wish all the best for everyone that trying to book Hajj this year, inshallah, and may Allah grant them a successful Hajj bidinillah ta'ala. Inshallah, just like to remind everyone that Over the social media and internet, you will find many Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups, and many people that are trying to help and asking you to give your data and things, and they will able to guide you through the to Hajj, inshallah. But the issue, you have to understand that there are people that are trying to help and they're trying to do something, which is very good. But if you limit yourself with people that trying to do their best, but maybe at the end they will not able to guide people, because this year a lot of things are different, and things a lot of things will be controlled directly by the service providers, and you need to make sure that you are dealing with people that are going according to the rules and regulation of the ministry, and 100%, they have a 100% commitment or good commitment with the service providers, and they're working together. If somebody is working alone, maybe at the end service provider can come and say that, no, we don't need your help, thank you, because most of the service provider company now, they have their own quota, and they will be selling their packages for guaranteed. Like there will be a point that everybody will, not unlike other years. Everybody was able to sell, and the number was unlimited for them, as long as the quota of the country is not finished, and as long as pilgrim can book, everyone could sell. But this year everybody has a quota and everybody has a limit. So this is why it is very important to stay with the people that are guaranteedly, inshallah, will able to help you. In this webinar with us today, Sister Sahar, she was with us from Sira al Mawasim Room, and I myself from Holiday Inn, and other brothers was here as well. So from next our next webinars, and inshallah, things will be having more direct senior teams from the service provider side as well, to able to answer any questions that you may have, and we'll be working together, inshallah. And also, as Sheikh was mentioning, that there will be a communication channel that we will be inviting you to join for the both service providers, where all the service provider team will be there as well. And any information that you will be taking, unless you're taking from us now and taking from those groups, it will be official, inshallah, and 100% monitored by the Minister of Hajj and Umrah and the senior administration of the both service provider companies. So that's my advice will be to stay with relevant people and with official sources within Allah.
Barakallahu fikum. Jazakumullah khairan. Yes, okay. So I think there were some questions. I think everyone can see the questions on the group. Whenever a question is asked, when it is answered, I think you all can read those. So do open them and have a look if it's not showing. But there are some questions about, for example, how do I sign up with a service provider? We'll post the links for each group in our Telegram group. So in our one, we'll share it, and please join straight away. And of course, please bear in mind that there's a lot of work going on. If there is silence, it doesn't mean work is not going on. Okay, so work is going on all the time. That's something that people, it doesn't mean to say that, for example, if the Telegram group or WhatsApp group has lots of movement, nothing's going on. There's work going on every single day. It's actually Hajj is something where it's 24 hours a day, subhanAllah. Now, on Muhtadi's note, which was mentioned a few moments ago about the questions, and we're answering where possible, we initially we were saying to close the group between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Or at least certain hours, but then we decided to keep it open because we know that sometimes you have something in your mind, or at that point where you want to think of you thought of something, or you need an answer to a question, but you can't, it's hard to remember later on. So right there and then, put it onto the group. And at some point, you've seen that we've answered all the questions. If we've missed something, please, ask again, or DM us directly. Do ask us. That's very important. So that hence we've left it open. Okay. And sometimes our brothers and sisters who are already in the group can help others. Remember, we're doing this all to help one another, inshallah, so that all of us are able to perform Hajj, inshallah ta'ala, this year. Hajj is something that requires physical endurance, physical sacrifice, your mal, your efforts from your body. All of this is it's a different ibadah than any other ibadah. That's why it's one of the greatest ibadah, the greatest worship, that you have to spend from your savings. You have to spend a lot of money, right? And you have to, and this is from if you this is from the conditions of Hajj, that you have to يعني من استطاع إليه سبيلا. If you have the means and the ability, then it becomes the legal responsibility upon you to perform Hajj once in your lifetime. And so you are embarking and making that intention to fulfill that. Always remind yourself that you're fulfilling that wajib and that rukn, the fardiyya, the obligation of Hajj. And what happens, I've found, is that when you have this, because we get so stuck with the booking phase and all of this, and yes, I want to go, but just make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, accept my intention. Ya Allah, accept my intention. Ya Allah, accept, and you'll see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the doors for you. But also follow, do by yani bil asbab, with the means, and you have to do what is necessary. So that means attending these webinars of the service providers, following up, not being too relaxed at the same time, just being aware of any updates on the group from time to time, checking that, okay, this week perhaps there's not much going on. Suddenly there's movement. Okay, I need to follow up. I need to tell all of the family members in my group to be ready, for example. If it's booking phase or something like this. So you work together, okay, and we all work together to help one another. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from all of us. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. All of our dedication and efforts is, inshallah, for the sake of Allah. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. Say that all of my prayers and all of my sacrifice and all of what I do in terms of ibadah is for only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lillahi rabbil alameen. Always remind yourself about and renew that intention again and again. And Allah Jalla wa ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the doors for you and make it easy. So if that acceptance is there, no one can stop you from going. No one can stop you. So do bear that in mind. So with that, inshallah ta'ala, are there any questions? Or Muhtadi is answering, mashallah. In terms of language, yes, we originally I'm from Bangladesh, but I'm born in the UK. We are the second generation sort of uh, living in the UK, British, and we speak Bengali, inshallah, Urdu, Arabic, native Arabic. Alhamdulillah, we have diverse sort of language. My father, actually, for those who do not know, he's not here today. He's actually traveling. I was intending that today we'll introduce him for those who know my father. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him. So he's the sort of wisdom and sort of the one we consult behind all of the efforts that and all of what we've learnt and we've been able to deliver for so many years. I do recommend it's really, I feel really bad to say this, but I do recommend that you should check and refer us to others as well in regards to our delivery and our sort of transparency and how we abide by the rules, and we want to deliver and we want to be there and we want to support you throughout, mahma, whatever the situation, so do your due diligence, research, go on Google, find out, about us guides. Obviously, as an entity, we are Hassan Travel, but as guides, this is how we're going to move forward. Those guides coming from Hassan Travel, working as sort of guides for the service providers, and it's an honor and privilege to work with Sira Mawasim and Holiday in Mecca, and also if any others, we will be informing you if it's right for you and for the pilgrims. Then inshallah ta'ala we will be informing you. However, one thing to bear in mind is the packages. We based off that we are making decisions as well, and all the logistics and all the ease for the pilgrims. This is something that we take into consideration more than anything else. And if there is that understanding of collaboration, working together as guides and serving the pilgrims and the guests of Allah, then that aligns with our ethos and our thought process and our objectives. So may Allah accept it from them and us, and may Allah grant us all a successful Hajj. Ameen. And I would like to ask Muhtadi, otherwise I will close up for today, inshallah. We'll inform you of the next webinars or any other information, inshallah ta'ala. Do you want me to read out any question? Are you seeing these questions, brothers and sisters? Can someone confirm that they can see these now? Brothers and sisters, somebody said, according to this, HajjReporters.com, Nusuk releases 2026 Hajj timeline. If it's not direct from Hajj Nusuk X, then that wouldn't be any sort of reports like that wouldn't be official. So please avoid reading information from places where it's not official. Even some people seem official, but they're not, unfortunately. This is all, unfortunately, marketing ploy, and this is the issue and the reason why now the ministry have given set guidelines and directives, because there's so much information people are sharing about the nusuk when things are always changing and it's causing confusion. So it's best be that the service providers themselves, inshallah ta'ala, will provide the official information as and when received, and that's best, inshallah ta'ala. If you have questions about things like package pricing and things like that, what kind of amounts to expect, ranges, all packages last year began around £6,000 to £7,000 up to £16,000, but that's really top luxury, and I think this year the price will be very good. We can say that it will be very, very competitive, and inshallah we expect it. And the pound is picking up, mashallah, which is another plus point. So we had the inflation today, that the percentage went down, so the pound rose further. So we hope that at that time, at the time of booking in February, if you get that good rate, then it should bring the prices, at least a few £100 less, than last year. So on average, if you're looking for a decent 5-star, and when we mean 5-star, it means like a good, comfortable package. 5-star is, subjective and sort of it depends on, some people 5-star is different to others, right? But a generally clean, not super luxury, but generally decent 5-star. You go to Umrah nowadays, the likes of, Jebel Umar hotels like Hilton Suites and Hyatt Regency, or Clock Tower hotels, or the Anjum Hotel. This is like, there are different levels within those. And so, but it's not the same as Dar al-Tawheed Intercontinental, or, for example, Raffles Mecca Palace. These are very, very high end. So you wouldn't be getting those kind of hotels, and Nusuk will not allow those hotels, luxury in percentage. There is something that which we didn't mention today that you all should be aware of, that the luxury packages, there is a percentage, only about 15% of packages all over Nusuk will have luxury packages with each company. So that means all over Nusuk. And so there'll be more standard and premium packages than luxury. So if you're looking for a really high-end package, then, or at least, if you're used to staying in the Clock Tower and Jebel Umar, that would be, if it's shifting, it will be known as premium. If it's non-shifting, it will be known as luxury in those hotels. So the number of packages on will be less. So therefore, you want to keep your options open. What I can say is that, Sira will have a good number, and so will Holiday in Becca, and we are working as guides with them, inshallah ta'ala. And where you see perhaps less people, that's a good thing for you, perhaps. Because if the traffic is in one place, perhaps that's not always a good thing. But I'll leave it there, inshallah, Muhtadi. If you kindly, is there any other questions or anything
No, I
that
was
you
just
can
clearing
read
all the
out?
questions on the system.
MashaAllah, Muhtadi is uh, answering questions and responding, in the Telegram group. He's able to do so. I will become more active soon, and there are other team members, but as the time progresses, we will all start becoming more active. It's still registration phase, so inshallah ta'ala, may Allah bless you all. Naam. Shall I close for today, or are there any more questions? Because it has been quite. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. So there are questions like, I wanted to know. So yeah, so do you need to communicate with the service providers, or can you just go through directly to avoid confusion? No, there's no confusion here. What we're saying is that if there's too many groups that you're in, if you focus, as for example, if you want to join with any of our guides, right, then we have referred you to one or two groups. That's fine. Keep with those groups, and on top of that, we'll have our communication channels to inform you that there's been an update on this group, on that group. So you will be fine, inshallah. Stay with us and stay with them as well, and it will be in sync with them. Okay. So yeah. So this is a question by Brother Abdul Qayyum. He says, Assalamu alaikum. Once I've chosen my packages and placed them into my basket, am I limited to only those at that time of booking? So this is according to the last few years. Yes, you are limited to that one only. You can actually you can select preferred package on your profile. So any of the packages that myself or Muhtadi and the team, my father and our team will be guiding, we will inform you through the service provider. You will see us there, and we'll say these packages we're guiding. Then you can add that as preferred or loved. Like there's a heart. You can say, well, when you open your dashboard, you can see it straight away. But as for putting it into your basket, you can only choose one. This is previously, and it makes sense. You can only put one, otherwise you'll be holding other people's spaces. So yes, it'll be one. Yeah. Yeah, we'll perhaps do some demos later on when it's live, when you can actually search and put it into basket. All of this will be shown to you. So I don't think you need to worry at all, brothers and sisters. For now, it's just verification, taking holidays off, preparing the funds, those three things, and following the right channels if you'd like to, join us, inshallah. Okay, so where some people asking when will the e-wallet be active? We anticipate by the new year, just after the new year. So it's already 18th today. But again, nobody knows for certain. There hasn't been any official, I mean, there was a directive given, but again, these are provisional dates. So again, that may delay this year based on what we can observe. But it may be the case that they put a lot of pressure and they get it done earlier. But again, it's something that we will work with as and when we reach there, inshallah ta'ala. Muhtadi, do you want to continue with questions, or shall we close for today? All right. So if there's any burning questions from anyone, perhaps do you want to open the voice, or people are just going to ask on the thing on the chat? Well, I don't think anyone's raised their hands. I don't think so. Okay, so barakallahu fikum. Jazakumullah khairan. I hope this was clear today. We're going to close now. What you can do is on the group, you can ask the question, and on the Telegram group, and inshallah ta'ala, we will see you soon. Inshallah, we'll be updating you and sharing the Telegram groups. For Jazakumullah khairan. I'll end it there. I can see you typing away, hence I'm waiting for you, Muhtadi. Mashallah, he's answering all the questions. So does topping up e-wallet happen immediately when transferring funds? I'm not sure about that question. If by card, yes. Yes. So if you do by card, if you pay by debit card, then it is immediate, right? Because the funds as it goes. But if it's transfer, it can take longer, a couple of days. Okay. Is there a penalty for withdrawals of excess funds? Yes, there's 2.65% transaction fee.
Can you just maybe run away? People asking about pricing and stuff. So obviously, we have expectation from previous years, but also at the same time with, packages being finalized and contracting and, with the current regulation updates, we can't say what the package prices are because we don't know, but we do have some market sort of insight. Maybe just obviously the luxury ones are going to be a bit more expensive than the premium and the standard ones. Maybe just run.
You can mention. What I would suggest is in the next webinars with the service providers themselves, Sira Mawasim and Holiday in Becca, some of those information about the hotels that they're looking to use and all of that will be provided. And that's fine. We will look at that. But again, pricing, I mean, the rule of law and the directive from the Ministry of Hajj is nobody's allowed to sort of inform anyone of pricing or before it is viewable on Nusuk. This is the rule. So we go by the rules and we go by the system, but we've given you an indication between £7,000 to £11,000 per person, roughly including flights for a decent package. Okay, last year we had on CRR packages that was 7.5, 8.5, with shifting with 5-star hotels. It can be a little bit more, it could be around that price. So have in your mind, like you have to think, I have to have like a window of say between, if my budget is, for example, six, if it's myself, just one person, okay, 7,000, between 7 and 8,000 I'm going to work with this year. Well, actually that's too high, 6 and 7, that's my window, and I look at packages within that. Or I say, no, actually, I can really, money's not an issue. I look at whatever package there is, if there's 11,000, 12,000, whatever, But remember, if it's quad sharing, it'll be cheaper. If it's double sharing, it'll be always more in any package. Okay. And that's something to bear in mind. Right. Yes. The provisional date in February for package sales, how likely is that date will change? I'm looking to take the day off work so that I'm available for when the sales go live. And I want to say something to you all, brothers and sisters. This is one part of the booking, unfortunately, that no one has control of. And it is, ultimately, I know some people like they complain and they say, why is it this way, etc. But ultimately, if there is another solution, then, provide that solution. Ultimately, there are people from all around the world, from different countries, who have different things going on, different times. So some people, they say, why did you do it at this time for the whole world? And then what happens is, so for example, we're lucky we had it around 5 p.m., for example, 4 5 p.m. on a Sunday last year. But imagine for others in other time differences, like in USA, it's early in the morning, right? Or it's in the middle of the night. So, in Caribbean, for example, there are people from Caribbean islands, from Malaysia, that are booking on the same platform at the same time. So, they're having to juggle with all of this. So it's not easy. In terms of work, yes, as soon as the problem is, brothers and sisters, to give you an exact date is very difficult. You have to work with provisional dates, and you have to, so it's like plus minus 1 day. And even then, we'll give you indication that, oh, it's looking like there's going to be a delay if that is the case. Okay. So that's all we can do. No one can say for certain. Okay, one thing to bear in mind, of course, in terms of companies and service providers, they renew their license every year. So there are teams and admin teams involved, there are logistics teams involved, there are salespeople involved. There's so many people involved in this whole chain. There's us as guides. Now, everything has to fit in correctly, and we want to ensure that the whole experience is seamless and comfortable, inshallah ta'ala. Yes, there's Hajj always has some challenges, but generally, mashallah, it's hard to get everything. It's not possible. You won't get everything. Nobody is perfect in the world, isn't it? So when we see that there is the overall experience, the overall standard of hotels, the overall, flexibility, or for example, the availability of packages, uh, the autonomy also, what we can say, like, for example, to be able to guide and to be able to provide guidance is really important, and for that whole experience. So hence, this is based on through this we are, because obviously, alhamdulillah, those who are experienced, all the service providers want to, work with us as well, inshallah ta'ala, alhamdulillah, that's something we're privileged to be in that position. But we have to see that is that worthwhile in terms of our hajjis, our pilgrims that we're guiding. Is it going to be, a wholesome experience, experience that's spiritually uplifting, that also is comfortable and it fits in? This is important. So accordingly, assessing the situation, we are deciding. We haven't, so far we have finalized 2 service providers, and if there are any others, we will inform you, inshallah ta'ala. Any other things to add?
No, I think we can end it there now, inshallah. And
Jazakumullah khairan once again for everyone for joining and staying on even after we started Q&A. I look forward to seeing you again in the upcoming webinars. You may see me representing as a guide in other with the service providers, and also in our own ones, inshallah ta'ala. Keep in touch for any questions. Keep asking the questions, and we're here to support you. We're here to guide you. And inshallah ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our efforts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you and us all success in terms of successful Hajj booking and a successful Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. So with that, subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina wa habibina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan kull al-jaza. Thank you so much. And inshallah we should share the recording later on. Assalamu alaikum.